Breaking news coming in at this. US President Donald Trump has just now concluded his phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Trump assures Putin that he will meet the Russian president in Budapest in Hungary, where Trump has also claimed that Middle East success will help in Ukraine war. Negotiations team led by Rubio will be meeting Russian delegation soon. Trump has also said after the successful phone call with Putin that talked about Russia-US trade as well. My colleague Aditya Rajkol is also joining me for more details. Aditya, do highlight the need for the conversation.
Well, certainly, it's a very significant conversation, Aditi, that's taking place between Trump and Putin. Of course, they've had multiple rounds of conversations in the past as well, the biggest of all, the Alaska Summit for peace between Russia and Ukraine. But it does seem that there is some substantial progress that's been made. In fact, Donald Trump saying that it was not just the Ukraine war that was discussed, also the trade was discussed between US and Russia. Once the war is over, how the trade can be taken forward. Apart from that, he said that Russian President Putin was appreciative of the fact that a Middle East peace process was achieved by Donald Trump, and this was being dreamt of for centuries together. He said that there will be a meeting of the high-level advisors led by Marco Rubio between Russia and US. There are other senior officers and diplomats from US that will participate in this. This will happen next week, and subsequently there will be a meeting in Hungary between Putin and Donald Trump. Could we see an end of the war in the next few weeks? Well, there are no guesses that we can make right now, but there is a step-by-step progress that's being made. It's a very important day for India as well, because Trump had suggested that Prime Minister Modi has told him that India will not buy Russian oil anymore. But Indian government making it stand very clear that strategic autonomy remains, India's diversification also remains, but whatever trade or Russian oil that India is getting will only continue for now. But what happens to the US-India trade deal is also something that many have been asking. Perhaps we'll have an answer in the next few weeks. But an important announcement by the US President Donald Trump, who achieved a Middle East peace process with the Gaza peace deal and now is looking towards a peace process between Ukraine and Russia. There's a lot of desperation, fatigue and exhaustion, especially on the Ukrainian side, for the entire war to end. Will that happen? Perhaps we will know in the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely, Aditya. Thank you so much for detailing that. And as the window for the nomination is about to close in the next 24 hours, Congress Party has released another list of candidates for Bihar. This time, 48 candidates have been announced in Bihar elections from the Congress Party. Bihar Cong chief will be fighting from Kutumba, as well as several names have been announced. But the big question is again, when is the seat sharing deal in the Mahagathbandhan be announced? Where is this meeting headed between the alliance leaders while the Congress Party is releasing candidate list? Where is the seat sharing agreement that will be finalized between Tejashwi Yadav, Rahul Gandhi and others? The whole agenda of this meeting was Rahul Tejashwi holding a meeting, but that meeting is not going to happen soon. The aides are meeting. There is a team meeting going on, huddles in both camps, but the final result is nil. We are seeing another list coming in from the Congress Party. Several faces are being promised that they will contest this election. But the question is, where is the seat sharing formula? That is the biggest question till now. My colleague Raman Rai is joining me, who's tracking all these Bihar details and developments. Raman, first highlight the names in the Congress list that has just now come out.
Yes, it's been too late, but still the Congress first list is coming out, and 48 names have been declared by the Congress Party. And some of the big names are the Shakil Ahmed Khan, who has been CLP leader earlier with the Congress Party, and Congress Bihar President Rajesh Ram also got the ticket this time. Sitting MLA Neetu Kumari and Pratima Kumari Das, these are the two female figure of Congress Party. They had earlier contested and they both repeated the tickets from the Congress Party, and around 48 members have been declared by the Congress Party in the first list Congress declared today, and yet there is not seat sharing and deal is done inside the India alliance, but still Congress Party is declared the 48 names of the candidates.
Absolutely, and one important point over here, and the one constituency that is in focus is the Bachwara constituency, which will now see a friendly fight because left has already announced their own candidates. So why is Mahagathbandhan fighting each other instead of posturing a stronger front in front of the NDA?
Exactly. See, there are 3 or 4 seats where the Congress party and the RJD and the VIP are colliding with each other, like Bachwara seat, where the Congress has also fielded their candidate. CPIML also fielded their candidate on that Bachwara seat, as well as the Jalis seat and the Kahalgaon seat. These 2 seats are the seats where the RJD and Congress both are trying to contest on these seats, and the tussle is still going on. But Congress party still released their first list, and we have to wait for the RJD's first list, that how many candidates and whom are the candidates which get their names in the first list of RJD.
Absolutely. Raman, do stay with me as more news from the Bihar elections is coming in. Union Home Minister Amit Shah, who is in Bihar, is holding a meeting of the BJP Election Management Committee at the party office. The meeting is being attended by Bihar BJP State President Dilip Jaiswal, Union Minister Nityanand Rai and Samrat Chaudhary, who is the Bihar Deputy Chief Minister. Several organizational leaders are also present in this key meeting. The discussion is focused on strategizing for the upcoming elections. All eyes on how Ekjut NDA will dethrone and pick its own candidate. Will it be Nitish Kumar who will be repeated as a chief minister, or will we see another twist? Remains to be seen as this key meeting is underway. My colleague Raman Rai stays with me for more details. Raman, do tell us about the inside scoop, if you have some, the inside track from this meeting that Amit Shah is holding.
Exactly. Right now it's 11 p.m. and we are standing outside the BJP office, and the meeting is still going on inside the party office in Patna, where Amit Shah is heading the meeting with the Bihar BJP unit, as well as the election committee core members are also presented in this meeting. Bihar BJP state in charge Dilip Jaiswal, Deputy Chief Minister Samrat Chaudhary and the Central Minister Nityanand Rai. They all participating in this meeting, and the meeting is going on. Amit Shah is taking all the preparations which had been done by the BJP to strengthen their unit in the Bihar Assembly election, because tomorrow is the last day of the filing the candidature for the first phase of Assembly polls in Bihar. And Amit Shah will also hold 2 programs in Bihar. One in Taraiya, he will address a public rally in Taraiya, and second one he will hold in Patna in Bapu Savagar, where he will interact with the intellectual people and strengthen the BJP in Bihar.
Absolutely, Raman, and we will be tracking that when the meeting will be over. What decision will come out? How is the NDA actually preparing? Will there be a new strategy that NDA will opt for in this election against the Mahagathbandhan? Or will the MGB see the same old battle? Bihar and other states will continue that as well. Raman, do stay with me. More inputs are coming in from the Bihar elections. More stars in Bihar elections are now in the contesting. Mahagathbandhan has given a ticket to Khesari Lal Yadav. He is the Bhojpuri superstar. He will be contesting from Chhapra on the RJD ticket. The Rashtriya Janata Dal has fielded Bhojpuri superstar Khesari Lal Yadav as its candidate from the Chhapra Assembly constituency for the upcoming Bihar elections. Initially, the party had allotted the ticket to Chanda Devi, Khesari Lal's wife. However, it was found that her name was not on the voter list. The RJD decided to replace her with Khesari Lal. And now, Raman, if you're still with me, we will go to Raman, but we have the reaction coming in from Khesari Lal Yadav after his name was announced. Take a look.
मैं हमेशा कोशिश यही रहा है कि जिस तरह मैं मुंबई शहर में रह के अपने बच्चों का परवरिश कर रहा हूँ, अच्छे स्कूल दे रहा हूँ, अच्छे अस्पताल दे रहा हूँ, उसी तरह हमारे बिहार के बच्चों का भी भविष्य हमारे बच्चों की तरह तय हो और हमारे बच्चों को बाहर गांव ना जाना पड़े। बट मैं हृदय से और दिल से हमेशा से मैं इस परिवार का हिस्सा रहा हूँ, और हिस्सा ही नहीं बल्कि एक परिवार का बेटा भी हूँ। मैं एक छोटा बेटा की तरह हमेशा प्रयास रहा हूँ, और चाचा का आशीर्वाद हमेशा मुझे मिला है, राबड़ी माता का आशीर्वाद मिला है, दीदी का मिला है, भैया का मिला है। आज आप सब लोग बदलाव चाहते हैं, मैं ही नहीं, मुझे लगता है कि पूरा बिहार बदलाव चाहता है, और उस बदलाव में एक मेरा भी योगदान हो, इसीलिए इस बदलाव के साथ मैं भी जुड़ना चाहता हूं।
And Raman stays with me. Raman, Khesari Lal Yadav tried his best to get his wife a ticket as well before saying that he will continue to campaign for RJD.
Yes, earlier Khesari Lal Yadav also contested and also did so, also performed shows for RJD and in favor of RJD. That's why RJD gave ticket to Khesari Lal Yadav, and Tejasvi Yadav joined by Khesari Lal Yadav and her wife also joined RJD today. But now Khesari Lal Yadav posted on their Facebook account that he will gonna contest from the Chhapra seat on the ticket of RJD. And as we all know that Khesari Lal Yadav is a close aide of Lalu Yadav's family. Earlier he also performed stage shows for RJD, also campaigned for RJD in the Lok Sabha election. And this time Khesari Lal Yadav will contest from the seat of Chhapra on the ticket of RJD, and this will give a big boost to the RJD unit because Pawan Singh is performing for BJP and Pawan Singh is also on the star campaigner list of BJP. So there is a tussle of war between Khesari Lal Yadav and as well as Pawan Singh in the upcoming Bihar Assembly election, where we'll see Khesari Lal Yadav will be contesting on the ticket of RJD and Pawan Singh will do election campaign for BJP in Bihar.
Absolutely. Star Pracharaks versus Star Pracharaks. Both camps are riding on that star power. But will it convert into votes remains to be seen. Raman, thank you so much for giving us all those details. Keep tracking what's happening in Bihar as we will going back to you again and again as and when the updates trickle in. But with that, we're taking a look at what's happening in the world where the gangs are now targeting celebrities, and it is yet another firing that has been reported outside Kapil Sharma's cafe in Canada. This is the third such attack in just over 3 months at Kapil Sharma's cafe. The Bishnoi gang has claimed responsibility for the latest attack. 3 rounds of firing were heard outside the cafe. Video showed a man sticking his arm out of the window. The visual is on your screen of 10th July. First incident, 10th July, then second incident of firing, and then the third was reported on 16th October. All visuals are on your screens. This is how the intimidating tactics of these gangs are working. This is what they want, to silence the voices. But rest be assured, Kapil Sharma has said that such attacks do not ever give any threat to him. But the attacks continue. The Khalistani outfit has also claimed responsibility. These are the incidents that we keep on picking up with Canada, that they need to nip in the bud such anti-India elements. But so far, Canada has failed to take any action against the Bishnoi gang, the other Khalistani elements which are active on its ground. What will happen remains to be seen as India continues to rake this issue with Canada. On that note, we're slipping into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. Countdown has begun for NDTV World Summit. World leaders have started arriving in India for NDTV World Summit. Among them are serving Prime Minister of Sri Lanka and former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Sri Lankan PM Maharini is on a 3-day Delhi visit, and she is going to deliver a key address at NDTV World Summit. She also met Amit Jaishankar in the national capital. Former UK PM Rishi Sunak is also in Delhi for NDTV World Summit. He met BJP chief JP Nadda. From geopolitics to technology, from ecology to culture, from the architecture of economics to the imagination of societies, the NDTV World Summit seeks to move beyond analysis to reimagination, reinvention and renewal. NDTV World Summit tomorrow and day after. Stay tuned to NDTV to watch all the details.
Hi India, this is Rishi Sunak. I am thrilled to be at NDTV's World Summit at the Bharat Mandapam here in New Delhi. I'm looking forward to discussing the future of global growth with India's rising stars. And of course, looking forward to seeing my good friend Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji and meeting the young leaders who are shaping the future. I'll see you there.
We already have very strong ties, right? And we are seeking to further strengthen them. And let's see how it goes. Yeah.
Ma'am, how excited are you with respect to our World Summit at this point?
Very excited.
And what are you looking forward to in terms of conversations at the summit?
Well, I want to hear what the others have to say. I also want to be able to share our plans for Sri Lanka. I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to it very much tomorrow and to meeting Prime Minister Modi as well.
All right. Thank you so much.
Hello and welcome to Bharat Mandapam in the heart of Delhi. In less than 24 hours from now, the big NDTV World Summit. Vasudha and I will be over here along with a host of NDTV anchors to tell you just why it's going to be an incredible couple of days.
That's right, Vishnu. 24 hours to go for NDTV World Summit 2025. The last time Vishnu and I were here, it was G20 presidency that India hosted. This is the same landmark location, Vishnu. And I remember there was a declaration that came out, full consensus that war is not the way forward, dialogue is the way forward. I think the Prime Minister is going to reiterate that tomorrow at the World Summit.
I think that's such an important message because what we're looking at over here is the edge of the unknown. We live in uncertain times in India and indeed around the world. We are looking at risk, resolve, and also renewal as the primary themes this time around. It's not just a talk shop. What we are trying to do is find genuine solutions for genuine concerns. War is a real prospect. It's a real concern. It hasn't gone away. Among the speakers that we have, the Sri Lankan Prime Minister will be over here. The former Australian Prime Minister, Tony Abbott. The former British Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. We've got AI experts. We've got Ajit Agarkar as well, talking about cricket. And we've got so many others, but perhaps the biggest guest of them all
is the Prime Minister, and his speech is going to be the highlight of the session. And Prime Minister, I'm told, is going to outline his vision for Viksit Bharat and what it really means for the world, isn't it, Vishnu? And for entertainment, we also have Sahil Vasudev, whose music is something that all of us are familiar with, and also Ricky Cage, somebody that we all like.
Absolutely. And these are going to be engaging sessions. These are sessions which are going to take place over the next couple of days. And we're going to be broadcasting it on NDTV 24/7, NDTV India, all our social media platforms as well. It's going to be the biggest event of its kind by any Indian television news network, where we bring the finest minds from across the world, across India, right here to India.
And the theme is Edge of the Unknown, Vishnu, and hence it's very important to watch this to understand how the world is making sense of India today.
So join us on the NDTV network as we bring you fantastic dialogue, fantastic conversations with some of the greatest thinkers on earth. It's the NDTV World Summit, the biggest event of its kind ever held in the country. And it's going to be something which is fantastic. It's not been done by any news network in India. And that is real conversation with some of the finest minds in the country. We've also got no less than the Prime Minister who's going to be with us. It's all going to take place tomorrow and day after. And as you can see, Ayush and Vedika are hard at work over here. I'm in a suit. Why are you people dressed like this?
Because the real deal is...
Or is it old people wear suits and young people wear something else?
The real deal is tomorrow, Vishnu. We're just prepping for it.
Yes, and the real question is, why are you in a suit?
Old people, colonial, anyhow.
Trust me, you have more energy than us, Vishnu. Put together.
All right, but walk with me, guys. Let's talk a little bit about the World Summit. It's called Edge of the Unknown, Risk, Resolve and Renewal. Come on over here. What exactly are we trying to do with the theme this time around? And I would suggest that all we want to do is make this not a talk shop. It's about real solutions, right, guys?
Absolutely. And I think we have world leaders here. We have so many representatives from different sectors who will be here, not talking shop, but talking about what really matters geopolitically and otherwise that will interest all those people sitting out there.
In fact, we've got the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. We've got Rishi Sunak, the former British Prime Minister. We've got Tony Abbott, the former Australian Prime Minister. We've got AI, the greatest minds in the world. We're going to be talking with climate change experts. We're going to be talking about Ajit Agarkar because nothing is complete without some cricket in it. What else are we trying to convey, achieve at this World Summit?
Vishnu, I think it's fascinating, right? Some of the things that you spoke about, the trends that are, the winds that are blowing.
He's our AI expert, by the way. He's going to talk about AI, I know it.
And that's exactly why I dressed in a hoodie today, just to show Vishnu that I can be the coding expert. No, but honestly, some of the AI experts you're speaking about, it's where AI meets policy, privacy, security. These are trends that we are covering here. And what a magnificent stage, Vishnu.
And I think one of the big questions which will be answered as far as AI is concerned is what is it going to look like 5 years from now? Because the technology is moving so fast that I would suggest that most people over here will not have an idea. But that's something we're going to ask about, right?
Absolutely. things in AI are not moving at lightning speed, they're moving at tectonic speeds, right? Things move so fast, LLMs are developing, and more importantly, what part and what role does India play in this AI revolution? I think that is absolutely imperative, Vishnu.
And it's not only going to be humans here, Vishnu, tomorrow.
There'll be robots.
There's going to be a robot.
That's exactly what we are rehearsing, right?
Sleeping anchors are robots. Eh?
Who's going to be right there taking center stage with a quantum physicist, Dr. Meridmore. She's going to be dancing with this robot. She's a professional ballet dancer. So we're going to see some beautiful in-sync movement on stage, and that's what we're starting with tomorrow.
And so as the three of us leave you, let me just tell you, the next couple of days across the NDTV network, NDTV 24/7, NDTV Profit, NDTV India, NDTV.com, and all of our regional channels and all of our social media networks as well, we're going to be focusing on this. And as I said, it's the biggest event of its type on any Indian news media platform that has ever taken place. Join us for the very best.